I want to welcome everybody to the Tutor Ready Learning Plan webinar. And this is a series of marketing webinars that we're doing on Tutor Ready. It's brand new, and we're getting a lot of good feedback on it. And it's a growing living document, so we're really encourage your feedback. My name is Paul Heavenridge. I'm the Executive Director of Literacy Works, and I am also the Director of the Regional Professional Development Center in Region 4 out here for Links. One thing I wanted to do before we start and while we're waiting for more people to come in, we've been doing a sound check. I just want to make sure that everyone is hearing me. So if you would, we're going to use the checkbox right here. This is a little bit of a training how to use Collaborate in case you have not used it before. So if everyone can hear me and they have a yes already clicked, would you click that off and do yes again, please? Okay. So we got, let's see, Dottie, yes. Oh, yes, can you hear us? Yeah. John, how about you? Just click the check and say yes, if you can hear me, please. Okay. Norma, can you hear me? Can you click your checkbox up there? Okay. Zena can. Okay. Norma, can you hear me? Naomi, I'm sorry, it's Naomi. Excuse me. I'm reading too fast. There's a Norma right underneath you, and she already clicked. So, Naomi, can you hear me? Okay. A couple technical things here. What we're going to do, because there's so many people on the call on the webinar, we're not going to talk. So we're going to disable your talk function, but we will have the chat function enabled. And so if you want to talk, if you want to do a chat, underneath the chat box there, there's a column right there that you can type into, and then you can just hit return and it appears in the chat box. And that's how we're going to take questions today. That's really important. So we're not going to allow people to talk back and forth because there's so many people going to be on the webinar. Let's see. So we do welcome any questions by email, and our email addresses will be on the last slide of the webinar. So if you have any questions during our webinar, please send us an email if we don't get to them the question and answer period at the end in the chats. It will also be sending the recording link and the research basis for the Tutor Ready plans, which is a document we prepared, and along with our evaluation link for this webinar. And I think for our ALA group here, we'll send it to Kristen, and she can send it out to everyone. So we've got the sound check going. Hands are up or down, and we've got the chat talked about. So let's start on the first slide here. Again, my name is Paul Heavenridge. I'm the Executive Director of Literacy Works and the Director of the Regional Professional Development Center and for Links out here in Region 4. And I wanted to talk a little bit about the people that created the Tutor Ready site. And two individuals especially were the subject matter experts, Kathy St. John and Amy Prevedel. The Tutor Ready learning plans were developed by the Links Regional Professional Development Center, Region 4, in partnership with the LearnerWeb team and the Literacy, Language, and Technology Research Group of Portland State. The Tutor Ready learning plans are created with the support of the Office of Career, Technical, and Adult Education, OCTAE, as you know. So I think Kathy will talk a little bit about the LearnerWeb team. Thanks, Kathy.
Thanks so much, Paul. Hopefully everybody can hear me. So my name is Kathy Harris, and I want to talk a little bit about the Learner website of Tutor Ready. So in partnership with the Links Regional Professional Development Center 4, with Paul and his team, a team from the Literacy, Language, and Technology Research Group here at Portland State University used LearnerWeb to create some unique access features that we'll be showing you today in this webinar. Catherine Winter, Drew Caston, and I worked together with Kathy, Amy, and Paul to create the TutorReady resource. LearnerWeb, and which we'll be showing you, is a learning support system on which the TutorReady learning plans were built. And it was created with the support, LearnerWeb was created with the support from the Institute of Museum and Library Services. The LearnerWeb design, and this is important for the way it's designed, it's based on longitudinal research conducted with adults. So that's a feature of LearnerWeb. Okay, so what are the TutorReady learning plans? Well, the TutorReady learning plans were created for adult literacy tutors who work in a wide variety of settings. As we all know, tutors work in all kinds of different settings. And one of the primary goals was to reduce the barriers to professional development for the tutors by providing professional development in which tutors can work at their own pace, access their material anywhere and at any time, and control their own access to information while they explore, jump around, and repeat any of the information that they're learning. So it's really under the tutor's control. A key feature of the TutorReady learning plans is that the information is organized around tutor questions. Okay, so the TutorReady learning plans provide a valuable link between tutors and research. Adult literacy tutors are often volunteers with just a little formal training, or they had early formal training that may be not current at the moment. They often experience a steep learning curve in teaching reading, so they have to discover what's effective and what's not effective, often through trial and error. With these learning plans, tutors can learn effective research-based tutoring strategies and use those strategies right away. It can boost the quality of their instruction for the adult literacy learners. The material in these TutorReady learning plans, the material is presented in manageable chunks of information. And the information, including tutoring strategies, is illustrated with graphics, audio, and video. So it's very multimodal, which we have found to be helpful. All right, Paul. I think Paul's going to talk at this point. All right, Paul.
All right, I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the reasons for creating TutorReady learning plans. But considering the crowd that we're talking to right now, you already know all this. I'm preaching to the choir, but I'll go through it anyway. Adult literacy tutors often go through a training workshop before they are matched one-on-one with an adult learner. It's easy to forget what happened in training without knowing the actual learner you're going to work with. So tutors can access TutorReady when they have questions and can find specific strategies to use to meet the unique needs of their learners. TutorReady can also be used for initial training as well as a self-access resource. Tutors also learn about the research that supports these tutoring strategies and can rapidly become more knowledgeable about teaching reading. So TutorReady came out of discussions that we had with Dr. Steve Reeder up in Portland State. And I always say he and I were having lunch and we come up with these ideas. And this is something that's been percolating around for a number of years, that tutors really don't have access to, to really hands-on how-to working with their learners. And taking the research that we did, we already had teaching adults to read up as a training modules for teachers, but we really didn't have a whole lot for tutors. So that kind of came out of that discussion, and through the Links grant through Octave, we were able to pay the professionals to put this up, and luckily work with the Portland State people who have been wonderful in putting it on this wonderful platform, LearnerWeb. So that's a little bit of the background on that. So Kathy?
Thanks, Paul. Okay, so let me show you a little bit about what TutorReady looks like. Okay, so This is a website where tutors can access TutorReady, or anyone can access TutorReady at literacyworks.learnerweb.org, and this is what it looks like on the screen. We'll have the full link for you also available at the end, so you don't have to worry about writing it at this point. Okay, so what this means is that tutors can access TutorReady at any time, at any place they have online access. So at this website, this is you can see at the bottom at the orange arrow, this is where TutorReady is, the learning plans. But it's a part of 3 different sets of learning plans for different audiences. There's teaching adults to read, where teachers who want more in-depth information can use. The English Language Learner University plans on working with emergent readers and teaching vocabulary, and these TutorReady learning plans. All right, up at the top, you can see that tutors can create their own account. So the nice thing for libraries is that they don't have to worry about administrating accounts. Tutors can create their own accounts, and nobody has to pay any attention to who has an account, who doesn't have an account, and so on. And we have found from talking to people in the field that that's really important. All right, so the TutorReady learning plans are structured to meet the needs of adult literacy tutors, and one of the ways to meet those needs is to do things in manageable chunks. So this is the first thing that a tutor would see when they create their own account. They would see an introduction, and that's all they see. So it's not an overwhelming amount of information. So once they get here, they can click on that introduction, and they get to see a short introduction, which looks like, and part of that looks like this. So what we've done is, in a short introduction, we've introduced, using color-coded learner profiles, key concepts that are part of the components of reading. So we use visual cues of color and the learner profiles that are used throughout the learning plans. And that's how we introduce the 4 components of reading. So after completing the short introduction, tutors then are taken to this big picture graphic, the idea that at a glance, tutors can see the 4 components of reading, what the 4 components are in brief, and then they can see a series of tutor questions, or questions that tutors might have as they're working with their learners. This is, for you here today, we've given you just a sampling of these questions because there are so many you can't really see all on one screen. But tutors will see a wide variety of questions, and what they can do is go from this screen to their question. And you can see that it's the color coding and the profiles are consistent here. All right, so once they select the question that they've got or the area that they want to go into, then they see a full list of questions. And here's an example from phonemic awareness. Now, there's too many questions for you to read very easily, so let's just focus in on one so that you can see an example of what a tutor might do. So let's say that a tutor is looking at phonemic awareness, and then they want to say, how can I help my learner recognize the same sound in different words? That's the question that they've got. So what we do then is, from that question, and here's the question, how can I help my learner recognize the same sound in different words? From the question, the tutor then gets a couple of screens of research-based information in bite-sized chunks. So here is a little bit of information that they read, and these are images that come from actual tutoring situations. Here's a little bit more information that they can read. Then what they're given is a set of resources, and that's down here where the orange arrow is. Some of the resources are videos, some are text-based, some are websites, so there's a variety of different kinds of resources, but they're resources that the tutor can use specifically based on answering this question. Now here's an example on this next screen. This is an example of a video. Through the webinar, we're not going to play the video. That never works very well, but when tutors are in the learning plans, in the TutorReady learning plans, they can watch videos. Now currently there are a whole bunch of videos that illustrate different tutoring strategies, and these are actual tutors and actual learners. And we are adding more videos all the time. They will be added over the next few months, but there are already there are many videos already, and there are more coming all the time. All right, so that's one example, is videos. Other examples are text-based descriptions of an activity. So here's an example of a phonemic identity activity, and here you can see how the text describes for the tutor how to use color as a strategy with their learners. So that's another example. So for each question, there's a variety of different things that a tutor can see that they can actually use with their learner right away as they are using these bite-sized chunks. One thing I wanted to say before I turn this back over to Paul is that the other way that a tutor can go through TutorReady is they can just go one question after the other, and in a sequential fashion go through all of the information that's presented in these learning plans, because all together they compile together into a full curriculum about teaching reading. So it is a bite-sized chunks, but that add up together to a full curriculum. So I think that's really important. And some tutors will want to go step by step through each question, whereas other tutors really will want to go question by question and then go back and look again when they have want a refresher. All right, so Paul, do you want to talk a little bit about pilot testing?
Yes, we had some really great partners in testing this out. Actual real live tutors, and on the screen there you see 3 of the reading programs that we worked with. One was in San Jose, one was in Santa Clara, and one was in Boulder. And so we tested the learning plans, and we're experienced volunteer tutors, by the way, from the 3 libraries. And the pilot testing volunteer tutors reported that the learning plans were relevant and easy to use, and they really liked being able to see a video illustration of tutoring strategies, as well as read the descriptions. And that's one thing that we found that was real powerful, is that if you can read about a topic, but actually seeing it in action with a teacher or a tutor or learner is really powerful. And as Kathy said, we have about 30 more videos that we're going to be putting up on TutorReady, and also our sister site, the Teaching Adults to Read. The tutors also reported that they felt like they could use the information immediately with their learners, which was really great, because that's what we really tried to do on this project. So that was really important to us, and we've been in a draft mode, a beta mode for a while, and we still are adding on to it and taking suggestions. So it would be great for you, the group that's on this webinar, if you look at it and you have any suggestions. We'd certainly be appreciative of taking your suggestions and adding to the site. So that's what we did with the pilot testing. So we're kind of always in a pilot testing mode, I guess is what I'm saying. This is a living, breathing site. So, Kathy?